And for now, Kwame Bedi, I could leader in front of the new force, my Indian and TSA, UK Parliament, ya two and South Friends of Rano Mekasa. Now, after Star Call Kasavi, and Sembi ACC, Ghanaians are asking so many questions. Questions Ben Ghana for Busa. Now, but Black Rasta and Swaba Ababa reacted to the same questions. Ghana for Ebusano. My found Rasta story him. Beginning Simon the China, no first that about channel, so I'm not more than not subscribing, like it, you know, to the wide comment section for them. Now, I come for a good example doors and master open a authentic and European standard doors. I'm sure for any more good example doors. A hop and I've been out door papa. My phone in simply come out and see. And I come on October 3rd. Ever on a Twitter so say I am honored to speak at the UK Parliament on a topic close to my heart. Africa's economic pillars to freedom. It is time we stop being spectators in the global economy and start being the architects of our own destiny. Let's unite to build a new Africa for Africans. Need somebody called two Ganom, the Bremo, our shiny creations. I'm some of you the more reactive to it. Now, Mokrala, be more beside this question, sir. Omo say Cheddar, UK Parliament, I was so and any other comment section, side video now, the speech now, may post see, some of the questions are now for Busa, comment section on. Ebi be expose say wo baby o ha yetimi ko han na wa kwaye meetings e wo honom ti Cheddar e ko han honom no kofa amanfo begu honom ana no aka ne nsem e de kire mo na do fo no nyina ankogu no Black Rasta enso adin say about about this same issues e koso regarding say na na kwan bedi akokọ UK Parliament ampampa say ye inviting na say ono aka say na inviting ne ho ye kwatie Black Rasta analysis awoye about Cheddar the UK visitor koya no ka say UK for Parliament ato omonsa e de friend no yentie Black Rasta ne somebody to dia embra e ba e beto aso.
Did Cheddar lie about UK Parliament address? Who is Cheddar? He's a fashionista, he's a businessman, and he says he's rich. He has so many businesses, he says. He counted his first 1 million, I don't know whether he said pounds or dollars or whatever, when he was just a young guy, younger than this. It's an achievement, isn't it? But we want to know the source of the money. And he says nobody should ask him. He has explained it several times. But he don't be interested in the source of his money, because he thinks he has told you enough. But when people doubt him, he doesn't like it. When he says things and people think that this doesn't make sense and they want to stand back and ask him to say it again, there's always a problem. This is Cheddar. Recently, he told us that he was at the British Parliament and he was the first leader in Africa to go there and apologize. There you can see him talking to some people at a certain place he calls the British Parliament. This nation is so good at finding out what is true and what is not true, as long as they are interested. Ghana Web decided to go into this to find out if Cheddar really went to the British Parliament, and did he address parliamentarians? Who did he actually address? Did Cheddar lie about presenting a petition in UK Parliament? Bring back the headline and look at the picture. It says Cheddar speaking in a committee room in UK's Parliament. Committee room in UK's Parliament. It's still the Parliament, but this is a committee room, like the committee for Galamsey, committee for fact finding, blah 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 blah, that kind of thing. It's an office in the UK Parliament. So technically, he went to the UK Parliament. But where did he address the people? And who did he address? Run it by you. Independent presidential candidate Nana Kwame Bediako, widely known as Cheddar, claimed to have presented a petition in the UK Parliament after an address in which he apologized for Africa's misdeeds and called for a great partnership with the continent. In a post shared on X on October 11, 2024, he bragged about his feat describing himself as the first African leader to apologize on behalf of African leaders for their mistakes, which have caused us economic crisis, currency devaluation, stagnant development, etc., etc. He also indicated that he was the first African leader to present a petition on English soil to the UK Parliament, urging the world to refrain from using their foreign influences to instigate our political systems and become our international commercial partners instead. Go to the next. So when you come down, let's find out whether what he said is true. But was Cheddar at the UK Parliament, and did he present any petition to them? Fact Check Ghana investigated the matter. Here is what they found. So this is Fact Check Ghana. Number one, Cheddar's address was not an official event of the UK Parliament. An official at the press office of the UK Parliament told Fact Check Ghana that the UK Parliament, either the House of Commons, also known as the upper chamber, or the House of Lords, that's the lower chamber, did not invite Cheddar for any official event. In other words, he didn't address parliamentarians. We can confirm that this was not an official parliamentary event. It was hosted by MP Siobhan McDonagh. Emily Hitton, Senior Media Relations Officer of the Communications Office of the UK Parliament, is quoted as saying, so it's one MP who invited him to a committee room, and they sat down there and talked. Can we get more details? Cheddar had his engagement at a committee office, not the parliament. What does it mean? It was also discovered that the independent candidate for Ghana's 2024 presidential election had his engagement in one of the committee rooms of the UK Parliament on October 10, 2024. According to Fact Check Ghana, visuals of the event shared by Cheddar and his Romanian associate, Shalima Abuisi, show a large artwork. Alfred inciting the Saxons to prevent the landing of the Danes. That's the name of the artwork, which was bought by the Fine Arts Commissioners to hang in a committee room in the Houses of Parliament, where it remains today. This is the work. And Shalima, remember her? She was the one who was deported from Ghana. A historical night at the UK Parliament. It was an honor to speak as international spokesperson and advocate of change at the UK Parliament, where Nana Bediako petitioned for the pillars to economic freedom. My brother, so it's clear. Cheddar did not address the Parliament of the UK. He was invited by one parliamentarian whose name was mentioned, and he was taken into a committee room where they sat and had a conversation. As to who attended this or not, we are yet to have more detail. But certainly, it was not an official event. Therefore, for Cheddar to go out there and say that he apologized officially on behalf of all Africans. He's the first African leader to go to a committee room of the UK Parliament. Is that what you're saying? He wanted to lampoon us and lie to us. The trickster that he is, and he's told us this kind of lies a number of times. This is not the first time. Remember when he brought those people? The guys, the Pan-Africanists, PLO Lumumba, Mrs. Hombori, Kwao, and the Nigerian man, brought them into the country. When they were interviewed, they said they didn't know that they were coming for a political campaign. What did Cheddar tell them before he brought them here? This was the same guy, the trickster that he is, 419 boy, who told us that we have to trick the Chinese and the white people. We should go and get some roots and leaves, boil them and put them in bottles, and tell the Chinese that when they drink it, will be tall. and sell it to them or say you see dream. Trickster 419. So he's showing you his real character. And when we say this, there are a few people who say, oh, Black Rasta hates this guy. I hate tricks and I hate lies. If that is what you're saying, then okay. Yes, he was at the Parliament House, but he was ushered into a committee room. It was not an official event. So how do you apologize at an event that is unofficial? And you come and tell us that you are the first African on record to enter into the Parliament House, which was unofficial. And then you got into a committee room and addressed some 7, 8, 9, 10 people. And you want to be written in the books of history that you apologize on behalf of all African leaders. What effrontery, what arrogance. You don't qualify. We don't need you to apologize. What have we done wrong as African people? That you went there and apologized for our mistakes. That caused a lot of devaluation of our currency and our economy. We don't need you to do this. You are not qualified. You don't even understand what it is. He doesn't. And he's so arrogant, he won't sit and learn. That's who he is. He claims he's a Pan-Africanist. Yet he doesn't even understand what Pan-Africanism is. He doesn't. How do you go apologizing to Europeans for the mistakes of African leaders that made us devalue our currency and also our economy? He doesn't understand what it is that the European and the Western agenda could be. The Westerner is not interested in making Africa prosper. Africa must always be his backyard garden. Whatever the Westerner will do to suppress Africa, he will. That's why you have to learn and read books like The Economic Hitman. A lot of people have read this book. It's a big, nice book. Fast page turner. The Economic Hitman. The moment African people discover some minerals, you see the West jumping in there. They give you loans. Oh, that's a good thing. Oh, congratulations. Take the loan, take the loan, take the loan. When they saddle you with the loan, then they come back to you and say, it's time to pay. Oh, they know you can't pay. If you can't pay, then give us this amount of gold. Sell us. You will sell us only your oil. Don't sell to another country. Things like that. Some of the loans even come with strings attached. How Europe underdeveloped Africa. You must read that book as well. Read books by Fort Bernard and Kwame Nkrumah. You will never go and say you are apologizing to Europeans for the mistakes of Africans. What mistakes? We only have stupid leaders who are killing the youth in our country. Silly leaders who don't have any common sense to be able to deal with the situation in Africa. So if there's any apology at all, apologize to the youth of Africa who have been misled by some silly old men in power. They are those you have to apologize to. And if in extension you want to still apologize, apologize to Cheddar who gave us sense yet we can't think. Not to some European who always wants Africa down there. This guy is so arrogant. Who gave him that thing, that effrontery to go and apologize on our behalf? Whose behalf? It's annoying. And now he's here boasting with his white European PRO that, oh, you know, we African leaders, we are coming to apologize to you. I'm the very first African leader to go to the British Parliament. Meanwhile, you went to some cockroach room, some hen coop, right there at the British Parliament. Hen coop. Then you come out to tell us you were in the British Parliament. Yes, you went there and you apologized on behalf of us to make it look like some serious event.
Enyampa say na nakwan bedi apiatu yensa friend na kwa fa meto amanfo nim say UK for to yensa friend so ma mekasa na say ono akasa na decide say obekọ honom say na amanfo eka no na akwa current sa space honom akwa kwa na ade honom alafo sesi amene wo kasa yi no kure wo no menim ana won so nim but kyerɛ w'adwen ɛwɔ comment section hɔ ɛma me ni simo de shine and then first that the channel so abetuma subscribe no like video no share ama foforɔ nso enya bi ahwɛ amenka for a good example doors on farmer say open authentic doors European standard doors a woto prim de wani epiem ko kyerɛ wadwuma ma wani nsan ni wɔkyi sɛ me kwa abɔnten obi besi makyɛ bu me pro de bi sɛ apro yɛ mbu ani de bi ameka for ni hyɛ mu a good example doors na kwaje wo de ɛhɔ no mo friend na bɛsɛ na egu screen so a wɔn side bɛkɔ mo kuma si profom baabi a wo bi anso so no yɛbɛtumi asoma de abrɛw makraw yɛbɛsɛ share in the next video